you guys, and welcome to another amazing episode of Talkers First Doors, where we highlight and talk about amazing entrepreneurs and just amazing people within the community that are really doing things that are impacting, themselves as well as others. And I'm so excited. I have this amazing guest. Was able to have the pleasure of meeting her down at Leeds, Alabama. Miss Nadia, how are you doing, Nadia? How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling wonderful, wonderful. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. And we're gonna jump right into it because I know I just said Leeds, Alabama, so I know some people are already thinking country and all that.
Yeah.
No, we have some amazing people as herself on here. So you are the creative director at Pixel. And I know you said community appreciation is kind of going on right now. So tell me, how's that going right now with customer appreciation?
Yes. So, for those who do not know, the Pixel Room is Alabama's first and largest healthy museum. We house over 40 different rooms and walls and growing, depending on how creative I am that week. So right now we are actually having customer appreciation, as you just stated, where it's just 3 days of jam-packed fun. Well, it's actually four because we actually had our first influencer and photography night on Thursday. Friday through Sunday, we are actually doing, for our third birthday, we are doing $3 tickets. So from today on to Sunday, you can actually purchase tickets all the way up to August 31st for just $3. Normally the tickets are 14.20 for children and 22.80 for adults. They are $3 right now, up
Mm-hmm.
until August the 31st. So that's something y'all might want to check out.
Definitely, yeah, I want to check
Uh,
that out. I can say it's real worth it. I had the pleasure of going in with a young lady. It was her 13th birthday. So coming there with her 13th birthday, she loved it. And
mhm.
she was a cheerleader too. So, oh my gosh, it was so much with all the cheerleaders. It was like, we want to do it, we want to do it. So I know that it is a great praise. And for a lot of the ones that are probably still saying, Pixel, if you love taking pictures, if you love taking selfies, the great thing about this, you have stuff already set up. All you need to do is come and bring yourself. So,
Mhm.
period. We don't need no questions. You just come and bring yourself to there. But we're going to jump into it because you are a creative director that also attended Clark University. So,
Yes.
yeah, tell us about that.
I'm a glad. Yeah, I'm a CAU baby. I graduated in 2017 with a degree in merchandising and design. So that's kind of how I got started. Well, it's kind of how I honed in on my skills, basically. And while I was there, I interned at the America's Mart. And for those who do not know what that is, that's like 20-story shopping mall for business owners to come and purchase their inventory to sell to you, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, since 2014, I started interning with one of the only African American women in the mart. It's three giant towers, 18 to 20 floors on each of those, and it's maybe all of 10 African American people that work in those buildings.
Oh, wow.
So I was lucky enough and wise enough to kind of let her take me under her wing. So I started interning from there in international wholesales and just kind of branched off from there. When I graduated from college, I was still working and I was able to then travel so I got on a traveling team to do a traveling show team for wholesale, and a company called Transpac ended up scooping me up. And there, and I international host. I got a whole corporate America job, international wholesaling, and
Yes.
wholesale and domestic wholesaling. So that took
I
me all the way
love
to California. So I lived in California for a little while, and I did that, and I kind of still honed on Swanky D's, which is I actually have two companies. The first one is Swanky D's. I started that during college. I had no when I had to finish paying for college, so it was in e-commerce. and I sold my clothing on the promenade, the promenade of of campus, and that's how I kind of got through school. So
Oh wow, I love it. Entrepreneur, adore all the way. I love that aspect and great information for you ones that are coming into commercial or anything. That history and knowledge that is not a lot of people that look like us. It's not a lot of African American women.
definitely
So
not.
that
Even the
really is
shows.
open. Really?
Yeah, even the shows. When I still attend shows and I still work them for certain companies that I've been have a great relationship with over, like, it's been what, 10 years now. I still work with them, and even then, I'm still one of the only African Americans that like work or shop. It's a little bit more now, since the pandemic and people have had access to the internet, so they're able to see it more. But it's nowhere near the amount of people
So what do you think? Why do you believe that it's just not a lot of us or African Americans in that field?
It's really a lot about who you know.
Mm,
It's kind of like the music industry or the film industry. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
right.
Wholesale. And what we normally have access to, or what people give insight on in our community, which is why we normally have a lot of the same product, is like uh, LA showroom and different things like that. So I feel like we still dabble in our own circle within getting the knowledge, when you should probably reach out to follow other demographics and things like that. And that's how you really find out
Hmm.
what is available to you. And that's what Swanky D's is. It's a merchandising consulting agency. So I basically help small businesses, brands, and boutiques um, gain that knowledge that they need to be able to sustain themselves in a doggy dog industry, like,
Yeah.
with the rise of so many small businesses and brands. Um,
Okay.
with
I
my
love
my knowledge, will be able to help you sustain yourself,
that.
and stay one up on the comp.
No, definitely, definitely. So you guys, I just asked that question. She just told you. It's who you know, and she has that information and knowledge in business. So you got to get connected in these places, and also getting out that comfort zone that so many of us are in. So what started you getting in this area of business that you do? It kind of take us back to what was it when you was young or you was that teenager that felt like, you know what, this is something I want to do. Like what? How did all this
Mm.
start?
My grandma, it was my grandmother, but it was just several women around me. Like, I grew up around entrepreneurs. Like, the women in my family are go getters, and I just kind of always gravitated to women who kind of went for what they wanted. Or I had an aunt who owned a hair salon since, for whenever I can remember, and she still owns that hair salon today. Like, I think we turned the same. Me and the hair salon turned the same age, kind of thing.
Wow.
Um, and my grandmother has always sewn. My aunts, like, I've had like those type of women around me my whole life, and it's literally what you watch. You're a product of your surroundings. Whether or not you latch on to, all I can say is just latch on to someone who you see doing something positive or something that out of the ordinary and out of the box. And me seeing my grandmother sew, and seeing my aunt own this business, and how she had all these employees, and how all these customers just kind of stick. She has customers that still stick with her to this day. And
Mhm.
my grandmother, I asked my grandmother to sew me a costume for Halloween when I was like 6 years old. And I was just kind of sitting there, but I was watching, and I guess she picked up on that. So she gave me a pattern, and
Come on.
it was a witch costume. She gave me a witch costume, and she told me to figure it out. So I figured it out, and that Christmas, I started asking my mom for like hot glue guns and fabric and all that stuff like that, and it just kind of took off from there.
Oh, so you've been doing it in the game for a long time with that aspect on it. And I love that because That was early on. But now going into that high school, how you was able to articulate that? Because I'm sure you was the one that everybody knew that was gonna come in and dress and be stylish because you had everything, in that nature. So did you use that a lot within your high school area? Have other like peers like, girl, what you doing? Where'd you get that from?
I did, but I was also known as like the weird girl. I've always been known as the weird girl.
Really?
Why you always doing that? You always doing something, like I'm always singing in the car. I'm always making up songs and like I did like a lot of people ask what I did, how I got my clothing and things like that. I mean, I was still sewing in my ring dance dress was in my 11th grade prom, my 12th grade prom. I made those on my own. When everybody else was wearing poofy ball gowns and stuff like that. I was a geisha, and I had cheetah print, cheetah
You better
print
go,
dresses,
girl.
and all of that. So, yeah, I mean, I've continued to use it, continue to hone in on it, but it was definitely challenging for me when I started getting into like middle school and high school, just because I was always out of the box. No matter like in middle school, I wore uniform, but I even got in trouble for this. But I used to like
Come on, give
just
us the tea.
redo my uniform, and I was that kid. Of course I gotta be a rebel. I'm just like out there. I even wrote a petition at school and petition for us to like get rid of uniforms because there was a lack of creativity. You're stunting my growth, kind of thing. Yeah, I got in trouble. Everything. That was my first time I was ever in in school suspension because I
But they
pissed the
say good
principal off.
trouble. What Ben Carson and all them say is good trouble. That was good trouble because you started early, like you said, petitioning and putting your heart out there. Like, this is something I want, and I
Mm.
feel how it should be on that part of it. So that was some good trouble. You needed that in school suspicion and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh well, my parents didn't think that at the time, but now they're kind of like, okay, yeah, I guess we just gonna have to let her be because she's always been like that. But yeah, people always call me weird. They've always like it was either like you had an acquired taste for me. You either love me or you. I was that kid. I listened to Paramore. I had like an emo phase, and I
Mm.
had a geisha phase. I had like phases in my life.
But it was that creative mind that people
Yes,
didn't
yes. I
understand
kind of
for
latch on to
women.
things and it's just like, oh my God, I just want to know. Just like right now, I love the Japanese culture, and
Yeah.
that's before anime became or Barbie core, fairy core became a thing. Like I've always loved that, love the culture, and love learning about Japanese culture or Asian culture in
Oh.
general.
No, it is good to be out that box and be different, on that. So for some of our listeners that are listening, especially young people, because we have a lot of young adults too that are listening, like she say, they label it as weird. People may see that everybody has a term of how they feel of something, but her weird was creative and look at her now. That's the thing that you have to
Oh,
embrace, and you desperately, yes, embrace. So how was that though with you mentally as a podcast to talk about mental health? How was that mentally for you embracing who you was and
I
feeling like
don't
you was
care.
weird?
I don't care. I don't care.
She said she was a
I
rebel,
don't
yeah.
care. I've always had the mentality of you not funding me. Excuse my French. You're not effing me. You're
Hmm.
not financing me, and you're not feeding me. So I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Your opinion matters. It just doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, I'm so headstrong. I know what I want and what I don't want in life, and I make mistakes, but I made those mistakes knowing that I'm going to learn something from them.
Hmm.
And I guess me being weird, my passion is now a paycheck. So I mean,
Period. Come on.
I can be weird all I want to now. I
Absolutely.
mean, so
Because that weirdness brings so much, like you said, creative to all the business that you doing, and it goes back to you saying, "I love it." Like you were so headstrong. So I know you say you was around a lot of amazing black women, and shout out to all our amazing queens because it's like you say, your environment and what you be around. So what helped you be that strong black woman? Like what are some things that pulled on to you that you have another you that's still saying, man, I love her swag and what she's saying, but I don't know, because bullying is just so crazy now in these schools. So what were some of the things that just helped you?
Mm. I had women like me around, and I definitely try. Not try. I pay it forward. I do have like a groups of mentees that I volunteer with. Not only, I mean, I have 13 nieces and nephews too, so
Oh
I
yes,
try to
yes.
do. Hence why my second company, which is called Fairygoddshopers. But yeah, I have group like little groups of mentees, like little young ladies that latch on to me that
Hmm.
I don't mind. Um, I always try to keep them in something positive, have them doing something positive, letting them experience things because what people think is weird is just a lack of experience and understanding.
Yes.
And you know, I try to tell my girls all the time, like, I, you shouldn't care what people think of you, as long as you know your truth, you know your worth, and you know where you're going in life. It doesn't matter what another person thinks of you because at the end of the day, most likely, like I said, it's their inexperience, it's their the inability to understand, or it's their fears that they're trying to project on you. And I
Yes.
understood that at a young age. It's only your fears. Just because you can't do it doesn't mean I can't.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I try to instill that in my young ladies all the time. I try to make sure that they're I'm not saying that I'm a traditional female because by no means am I a traditional at all. I'm a wild child and a rebel, and I admit that. And I tell my girls, live in your truth, but have some class about it. You can't buy class, and you can't buy uniqueness. Okay, so
Mm. Mm,
yeah,
you can't buy
don't forget.
class or uniqueness. I love that right there. Girl, I'm going to use that so you know. I already know. I'm telling you why on here. I love that because we are all unique in some form of fashion in our own way. And that stuff, like you said, that can't be bought. That's something that it just triggered me. And I thank you for that, on that piece. So, with that, you have an amazing thing that you're doing. You're mentoring to some youth as well, and like you said, you also have a second business.
Yeah,
So your second business, tell the folks about this business. Cause I was just like, I ain't never heard of this one here.
yeah. So it's a very unique business concept, and I mean, it's basically involving all of my likes and loves. I love making people smile. I love giving gifts to people because you never know what someone has going on, and the ability to make somebody smile that one day and that one moment, I've learned can be the make or break of whether or not they want to be on this earth today. So I
Yeah.
always try to give love, and I always try to make someone smile because you never know just that people carry the biggest smiles and all the foot trying to be all the flashiest things in the world, but deep down inside they're really not happy.
So much going
You
on.
really not
Yeah.
living you're living the life that you want to live. And that's why I tell my girls, be weird. Cause you're living a life that you want to live. You're being somebody that you want to be. And society is meant to make you conform. I'm not a part of society. I'm a part of me. And if
Right.
you don't like it, forget it. So the
I
company name
love
is
it.
called Fairy God Shoppers, and we deliver memories, not just presents. So we specialize in gifting and entertainment for individuals and groups,
Hmm.
meaning you can book, and well, we're actually doing like this big transition right now. You can literally book an individual delivery where we come in full fairy garb and we deliver, I don't know, a happy birthday or a will you marry me
Love
present.
it.
And we can do stuff as large as festivals. Like this past weekend, we did Vulcan's birthday bash where we passed out scavenger hunts. And when you complete your scavenger hunt and bring it back, you get to go to our prop present, which is this like giant um birthday present with wings that I
Oh.
built. And you could literally like pop a present, and I mean pop a one of the little holes, and it's present inside. And we do that for adults and children too.
Awesome. Okay. So being this fairy god and kind of explain a little bit, it is, you know, it's talkers versus doers, but we are adults too. So are these fairy gods, like you said, it's for wedding? Is it something like if some people have
We
bachelorette
host
parties and all that?
weddings. We it is only public events right now, just for
Okay.
safety purposes for the
Hmm.
girls. Until we can get like a bodyguard or something like that, because it's weirdos out in the world. And
Yes.
we at this at ferry headquarters, which is what we call it, ferry headquarters. We are all about
Hmm.
safety, smiles, and having fun. Okay. So we host all kinds of events. Like we do corporate Christmas parties, just corporate parties, family fun days. Like I said, Vulcan, we do festivals, weddings, birthday parties, bridal showers. Like one time we delivered a diaper cake to a wedding, like a wedding. I'm not a
Oh,
wedding, but a diaper cake to a bridal shower. Like we do
yeah.
stuff like that, like unique gifting that nobody really thinks of. That we would just that are just made to make people smile and made to bring memories. And we started out as just personal shopping and gift wrapping, believe it or not. And it just kind of flourished from one little girl. We were doing an event with Santa, and we were passing out like lists to Santa because we have like this cutesy little holiday box that we call it. It's just like a box full of activities and crafts to give the kids, just, something for them to do while they out of school for 2 weeks. And we were giving out the holiday list, and she wrote her little. Her grandma helped her write her list, and she went and sat on I mean not Granddaddy's lap, on Santa's lap, and was like, "Santa, I know I can't have everything on this list, but can you give me like a couple of things on it?" I mean, she's like 3 or 4 years old, and I just thought
Nice.
that was the cutest thing ever. I have it on camera. She was literally like reading it off and was just like, "Can I just have a few of them? I'm not asking for everything." So after she got off of Santa's lap and said her little goodbyes or whatever, I said, "Santa, can I have that list, please?" So I took the list. I bought everything on the list. I wrapped
Oh,
it, and I did a special delivery for her. And she showed up in her little robe, clutching her pearls, like she was the cutest little girl ever. But that sparked
wow.
something in me, to
Hmm.
just be like, it is really it's children are just when they're not affected, they're just the
Hmm.
sweetest little things ever. And I'm like, I gotta do something for her because all the other little kids are just like, Santa, I want this, 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 and this. So I'm like,
Right.
she was just the sweetest little girl ever. So I did the delivery, and just the look on her face when she was just,
Hmm.
oh my God, a fairy came and visited me. She was calling me the tooth fairy. And I was like, no, baby, we're not the tooth fairy. We were gift fairies, but we do work with the tooth fairy and we work with Santa
Right.
too. So that kind of sparked something within me. And now it's just like, boom.
Yeah.
So we work, dabble in all legendary figures now. So we do deliveries
Ooh.
and we do special appearances too.
Okay.
So yeah, now
Now
we work
that is
we work with some of
good.
everybody. Like we just did we introduced our mermaid friend today because we found a mermaid to collaborate with.
I know y'all finna kill that with a mermaid now, like coming
Yes,
in. Yeah, so
yes,
that was good. A blessing a kid produce a whole business.
yes.
And again, that was because you're not afraid to still be that weird person where people may think it's weird, but you was like, no, this produced something that was so much more greater just seeing that smile on it.
No,
So oh wow, definitely excited about that with the mermaid because I know so much is going on right now with the mermaid in the movie. So I
mhm.
definitely know. But have you had experience where you did say you done different weddings and everything of that nature? How do the adults what do they do? How's their faces when they see it?
They love it more. Well, I ain't gonna say they. We love it more than the kids. And I get people all the time like inbox me or message or comment us like on our
Mhm.
page and just like, girl, I'm sick of being an adult. Can I be one of your fairies today? I'm like, come on, we can have fun.
Yeah.
We're always, I mean, we're always doing something, outside of this. We're getting together like just like a little mentoring group or like I don't know, like a membership kind of
Mhm.
thing because we're always out and about. All me and my little ones and even some of the adults that kind of like brand ambassadors for us right now, we go to movies, we go to parks and all
Oh.
kinds of events. And being that we work at all these festivals and things like that, we get free tickets for everybody. And it's like it's literally a whole community. We're fairy headquarters.
I love it
Um,
because you said ambassadors and little people. So, do you allow the kids too to go out and deliver gifts dressed up and everything?
so they can't deliver the gifts, but they can come attend with us. Like, so I have this thing, like literally an application
Mhm.
for adults and children to fill out, and it's like want to be, fill an application out to be a fairy, and for the little kids, it says what would you look like as a fairy and why should we give you your fairy wings and different things like that. So and with the consent of the parents we put them on
Mhm.
like a subscription list, so we kind of send out emails, hey, we're going to be at the park doing a fairy picnic today, would you like to come, kind of thing.
That
Hmm.
is too cute. That is too cute. So you have the kids come. They're also with
And
the
the adults
adults dressed
too,
up.
because there's a large, and people don't know this because society just quote unquote thinks they're weird, but there is a large population of mer people and fae people. Fae is for fairy.
Mhm.
But and us.
Wow.
Black fae, we have black fae picnics. We have Afro mermaids. Even on like Netflix right now, it was just released last week. But there's a whole documentary on like the mer life
Mhm.
where they have pageants and like aquatic classes and all kinds of things, and it's like that for fairies too. Well, we're not as big right now, but it's a large growing rate of adults, not just Comic
So
Con,
that's
but
good. And you
adults
guys
too.
actually have like places and things that you guys meet up as fairies
Yeah, that meet and
as a
greets, but I
community.
mean, I cosplay, so which is another thing that was weird when I was
Mhm.
growing
Mhm.
up. But now it's a little bit more lax. It's a cool thing to do. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we have the Black Fae picnic, the Afro mermaids. Like if you
Wow.
go to Instagram right now, is you could find pages for mermaids, fairies, and Black women who cosplay. Like it's a whole movement with us.
I love it. I love this education because I didn't know. I'm one of those ones too that I don't mind exploring and doing different things. Yeah. And you see, that's why I'm here doing this and exploring and doing podcasts. When everybody's like, well, no, you shouldn't do it. You don't have this. You don't have a studio and everything. I'm like, I'm just going to do it. Because like you said, we're unique in our own way. We have to do it. So to hear that, I think it's just amazing because we're not educated on those things because people see it as weird or they just don't know because culture and society said we should be in a certain box. We should just do this. But it makes me think of back, like you said, when kids, when they're small and we're small, mama tell us to be anything. We can fly, we could be Spider-Man, we could be Superman. But as soon as you get to adult, you can't do any of those things.
They lied.
Right. But you guys
I could
bring
be
that
those
life
things
back.
and make money off of it. You lied. You lied.
Yeah. And you bring all those things back with what you do of that kid in that fun life of those different things. And I think that is just so amazing because you allow people that are adults to say, hey, like you said, you get in your inbox, let me just be a fairy. Because life be life and honey. We be wanting to take
Life
a
is
break.
life, and I'm more than willing to give you a magic wand and some wings, honey. Because
Hmm.
when they say it takes a village for adults too. Like
Yes.
it takes nothing to make somebody smile. It takes nothing to give somebody a pair of wings and let them just walk around with fairy wings on. Like Yeah,
Yeah.
even rave, like I attend raves and all that kind of stuff, honey. I am an adventurous person, and I
Yes.
am probably one of the happiest people you'll ever meet. But that's because
Spirit is great. Yes.
I keep myself interested in doing other things than the norm. Like as an adult, and I'm gonna say as an adult in Birmingham, like an average person who just doesn't go out and be adventurous in their
Hmm.
own city. Like in our own backyard, I have so much fun when I'm able to get out. I have so much fun in
Yeah,
Birmingham. You
that
can
part.
never say there's nothing to do in Birmingham. Never.
You better
There's
speak it.
always something to do here.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I can tell you that because I'm either normally attending it as a guest or I'm working it. So you
Yeah.
can never say there is nothing to do.
I'm
Nothing
so
to do.
glad you said that. I was actually out. It was Wednesday, and I was at Railroad Park with an event that goes on with UAB. They had Zumba. They had,
I attend
kickboxing.
sometimes.
Yeah, they had all that
Rollerblading, that.
fun,
Hmm.
everything. And that was my thing. I was like, we always say in our own city that we got to travel, we got to go out, and we got to put money in other people's cities and business where it's so much here, especially a lot of so much in like businesses that are doing things that we don't want to pour into and do. And as I'm out there at the railroad park, I'm enjoying it. I'm talking to people. Then I look over there by the football field. It's a whole club up there. And you go upstairs, they got music going, they got happy hour. I'm talking about he's on there,
On a
he's coming to the
Wednesday.
house. Yes. And I'm one of those ones, and I'm gonna be honest because I've been so committed in work and doing what I'm doing as an entrepreneur. I was like, I have to get away and do some of that stuff. So I call myself on Wednesday self care. So mine is wellness, wellness when I get out in the community and I find stuff. And I've been doing that for the last months, and I'm like, there's a lot of stuff in this city that
A
we
lot to
slipping
do.
on.
Especially
So
African American people.
right,
We say there's nothing to do, there's no nightlife, but that's because you go to the same little clubs and you
same
smoke the
ones
same little hookah. Try
around the
something
same
new.
people.
Yeah.
Get
Mm-mm.
out of your comfort zone.
I mean,
Get around some more
we got
people.
speakeasies and escape rooms and rage rooms, and
Hmm.
I mean it is other event venues where you could do the same thing, but try a different scenery. Like
Yeah,
just try
most
something
definitely.
new.
I just love it. I just love your energy, Queen, because y'all, she is giving life and she giving everything. I know y'all feeling it because I'm feeling it through the screen. So yes. So tell me though about Pixel. How did that start? I want to know that part because it's just so dynamic and being someone that as a hobby do photography. How did that part start?
So I was actually in here for Swanky D's, and I was working with a client on a lipstick line. So I found this place, and um, what made me come here is I have my brother who owns a Soul Survivor Studios. He's a producer here in the city. D. Kelly. If you don't know him and you are a an artist, you slipping because he's one of the best in the city. Him and the team. They also have a podcast as well. Um,
Awesome.
so the first studio ended up burning down.
Mm.
And from there I had to find somewhere else to shoot. So I'm looking for a place because like I said, I'm here on vacation. I lived in California at the time. So I ended up Googling and I found the place, found Pixel Room on Google. So I'm researching. I'm like, okay, cool. It's somewhere I can come in and take photos. So I came in, took photos, and the manager, he saw me and was like, you know, you working really hard over here. What are you doing? So I explained to him what I was doing, and he was like, "Oh, I would love to collaborate with you one day." So this was Christmas time. Here comes February. He's like, "Okay, well, I would love for you if you did a a set for Valentine's Day." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I put it together, and it was actually like this giant cloud. It was like this giant cloud, and it had like stupid Cupid in the back, and like arrows
Oh.
and hearts and stuff
Ooh.
everywhere. And I was super excited about it because the MLK Day, Mickey Ferguson came in and we took pictures together. So I was super excited about that. The weatherman.
Cute. Yes.
Yeah. So we did that one, and I did this another little set because by then he just kind of was like, oh, you can do that one too if you want to. Like,
Mm,
okay. So he let me do that. And then it just kind of went from there. And I just kind of asked, hey, I decided I'll be coming back and forth from California a whole lot more. When I'm in town, I would love to help you. So by then, that was February. It's like 2 years ago. So it's kind of my anniversary too,
yeah.
for being here. Yeah, and then by May I have made the decision to just go ahead and come back because it was a lot going on.
Hmm.
Um, and it was getting harder and harder to move back and forth between
Right.
Cali and just the East Coast in general. My mom had got sick too, so it was just a lot going on. So I ended up
Yeah.
back here, and when I came back, he was like, "Hey, you wanna kind of come in a little bit more?" And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm not doing anything right now. So, and I just stayed with it. And I've gotten to meet some pretty awesome
Yeah.
people here. And and the manager just kind of lets me do what I want to. At first, he didn't get my visions or the way I was understanding, because I could see like a whole picture in my head. And
Definitely.
trying to explain it to somebody is just like,
Everybody don't have the same vision. You're like,
yeah, he's just like, look, I don't understand what you're talking about. Just tell me what I need to do. I just go. He would just do that. He still does that to this day. But it's something,
"Oh,
now I got to start drawing pictures for him just to kind of give him and
a
he'll just
little
be
bit
like,
of it.
I still don't get it, but okay, I'm gonna let you. And then he'll come by and be like, I don't know how you got there from that, but
So is
I'm
it just
glad
you?
you did.
Right, because I'm talking about it's so many different areas and rooms in there. So is it you just doing it by yourself? Do you usually have people that come and
Yes.
help you?
So I change everything out every 6 months to a year, and sometimes if if there's like a little wall or something like that, and I get tired of looking at it, I just throw something else. Or if I find something around, but every 6 months to a year, I start like right now. I kind of cut everything off, and then in August I start like putting stuff out again all the way up until Christmas time, which is our big thing. So I
Okay.
plan out the major sets every 6 months to like every 6 months. So like right now, I already got what I need for December till up until December already together. And then starting once I finish putting up in November, then I start planning for like the
Hmm.
um
Hmm.
spring kind of thing. So I mean, I really just within all the traveling and cultural experiences that I'm involved in and volunteering, and I get suggestions from the customers that come in and like, hey, you should really like, I don't know, do a guide set or something like that. And I'll be like, okay, well, I'll think about that the next time when I do my major sets, and then I go from there, and I try to make sure that there's a variety of things that are gender neutral, male specific and female specific, so that no one feels left out.
Yeah.
And I don't care what it is. If it comes to mind, it's a demographic for it. So
Hmm.
I
Definitely.
don't stunt my growth, and management here doesn't stunt my growth either. Of course, no profanity, heavy profanity or
Yeah,
anything like
definitely.
that. But I try to make something for everyone.
And I
Move
think you definitely did on there, and you do with everything how you have, like you said, everybody can feel comfortable being in that area. But also for the entrepreneurs, just hearing you, you are so disciplined of saying that, hey, you already ready for what the end of the year. And that too makes you so unique in your own way because I got to get this. I'm taking feedback from the clients and customers, but I'm already a step ahead of everything too. So that's just so unique. And we're gonna go back to just the importance of what you said that you reached out to the owner in that person. A lot of people have those ideas but are scared. But you took that on and said, hey, you reached out, you seen Pixel, and look what it got you of doing that and reaching out. So for someone that has that bright idea, see someone else is already doing it, what advice would you give them to just go ahead and take that leap and reach out to someone?
Just take the leap. There's nothing else to say other than what do you want? You want to be stuck where you are now, or you want to be stuck somewhere else that's gonna elevate you? Like that's how I see it. You gonna be if you die tomorrow, what will people say about you?
Oh, I love it.
What will they say? That you were a coward, that you were bright, you were brilliant? What legacy do you want to leave your children if you have no? What legacy do you want to leave to yourself? For me, I have something to prove to myself. I don't have anything to prove to anybody else out here in the world other than me. When I feel like I'm satisfied with life, um as an entrepreneur or just as someone who has some multiple mentors, my multiple mentors, all my mentors, they've lived at least 3 to 5 different lives.
Mm.
I'm trying to live at least 8 by the time I
She
retire.
said
Okay.
eight. Okay.
I'm corporate America entrepreneur. I've been a college student, and
Yes.
we building lives over here. We're gonna live chapters. Just like for me, every birthday I set goal, personal and professional goals for myself. So right now we are working on publishing a book.
Let's
We
go.
are I always do something like to do something with my appearance. So I got on lashes.
You
I
better. Yes.
I don't like wearing like makeup and all that stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But I do know that as an someone who is always in the public eye, I have
Hmm.
to like
Switch it up
conform. I'm not gonna
sometimes.
say conform, but you have to conform in some sort of way. There has to be some sort of a kept up personality about yourself. Like I said, I am a wild child. I'm a free spirit. If I don't have fingernail polish on, toenails, with the UV light, if I don't have any of this stuff, I know eyelashes on, dreaded up, messy, and I'm still beautiful. So
You
I don't
definitely.
care about
Yeah.
none of that. But I try to do things, that will enhance myself professionally and just um give myself more of a quote unquote boss
Hmm.
look. So, personal and professional. Uh we are achieving goals. We are achieving goals left and right here. So I'm excited
I
about
love
that.
it. And my ladies, she said enhance, not overdo it, because I know
Hmm.
a lot of you guys get where, I gotta be like this, I gotta look like this, social media put that, but enhance. That means you just putting a little bit and add it on, but people still
Yeah,
want to see the authentic you and who you are. Like you said, yeah, you have eyelashes on, but you're still showing who you are and the beauty that you have without all that extra stuff. So
right.
we want to stay in hands, you ladies. And the last one before, because when we talk, I was just like, yeah, we're gonna go a little bit here and there. But baby, you've been giving it. We are learning so much on this podcast today from you. So also reaching out to the owner. But what is your thoughts about collaboration? Because initially you actually come in and you collaborating.
Girl, let me tell you something. In Birmingham, y'all are the worst, and you need to get better about it.
Come on.
I will say this time and time again. Get outside of your comfort zone of who you normally work with. It's not
Hmm.
just about you help your community out. And Issa Rae said this herself. Like y'all, Issa Rae said this is not about the person up here. It's about the people in your community surrounded by you. With me working at Pixel, I've had the chance to meet so many different people, and just going out to different places, I've had the opportunity to meet so many different people. You know, collaborating collaborating is it has done both of my companies so it's done it so well.
Hmm.
I meet people, and that's how I learn different cultures and stuff like that. I'm working with pageant queens. Saturday, not Saturday, Sunday, just at Vulcan, I met Miss Alabama, Miss UAB, and we're talking about collaborations. I
Hmm.
met Talladega Speedway, Naughty but Nice, Kettle Corn. We've met before, but just going to networking at other events other than like those little the pop-up shops that you
Right.
normally go to that are just, the same people are going to show up to it. Go
Mhm.
somewhere different, try something new, meet someone new, make that a goal for yourself. Eventbrite hosts so many different networking
Yes.
opportunities. I just told you the Pixel Room has a photography and influencer night once a month now. So many people show up to just our events alone that are of different backgrounds, marketing, influencers. A lot of the fairies that I work with now are influencers over, 50K and 50K followers. And,
Wow.
and all I had to do was say, hey, this is what I do, and I would love for you to be a part of it. And 9 times out of 10, because it's free photo, free exposure. That's you
Yeah.
helping you're getting another person's market by just saying, opening your
Mhm.
mouth, collaborate.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here because that is a huge thing, and I'm glad you pointed that out because so many people don't want to do it, especially for some reason in the South. Everybody feel like a person is going to get over on another person, but you can't do life alone. You have to be able and be willing to work with people, and you also got to understand there are always going to be someone that knows more than you. But if you're always a student, and that's something that I preach and tell people all the time, always be a student, always be willing to learn, always be willing to allow yourself to meet and gain new information to make you more better for your clients and your people. Because if all you know is what you know, then you're not gonna know a lot. You gotta
Or
get out of
or the snippets that you learn on social media, because that
there.
can
Right.
only get you so far.
Definitely.
And what they say is not what you know, it's who you know.
It's who you know. So you gotta get out of it.
And
Definitely.
if you are the smartest person in the room, and I learned that, I have to learn that daily. If you are the smartest person in the room, you in the wrong room.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I've heard it. And this is from a woman that's doing multiple business and told you she's been in business where it's just her around. So definitely giving you the information on that part. So we thank you so much because you just Lord, we definitely gotta have you back on for one thing, sis, because you just have so much, especially for our young women. And like you said, collaborate with people. And I'm already thinking about in my head so many different things that of young women that needs to hear your voice, needs to hear your character and how you feel that maybe dealing with low self esteem and dealing with things that are going on in herself. So to just end that, what can you tell that young girl that are looking at this and waiting to just, even though we spoke about it earlier, what is one thing or a sentence that you want to just tell them about reaching their goal and reaching their dream that may be dealing with depression or anxiety, but it's just great? Like, what is something you want to tell them?
It's gonna be okay. Don't put that much pressure on yourself, and let go and let the universe take its course. Because you are in your standing in your own way when you block you're blocking your blessing.
Hmm.
When you can't just let go and let the universe take its course, or just be open to bringing these new opportunities where you change your energy, and the right energy will come to you. Just like you changed your energy and you watched Talkers versus Doers today, and now you got all these gems, and now you even have me. I don't
Hmm.
mind. Inbox me, sis. It's okay. Inbox me. I love having a good talk, or us meeting somewhere, and we talk
Hmm.
business, talk health, talk wellness, talk. Let's listen to those affirmations. And what are you interested in? Or are you lost? Or whatever the case may be, just find someone who you can gravitate to, who you can to open yourself up to meeting people who can change your life.
I love it. Y'all heard it from like, get out your own way. Get out your own way. If nothing else, you take that away and get out your own way. But thank you once again for blessing the stage, love. And as always, you guys, it's your girl, Coach Perry. Don't just talk about change. We want you to go out there and actually be a doer of change. Y'all have a good one. Until the next time, catch us on YouTube and we will have all her information. So, like she said, DM her, So we're gonna have all the information listed on the YouTube. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you can get all this information and the latest updates. You will catch that also in our stories on Instagram on all the things that she got coming up and got going on. Because we want you to also build impact and be a blessing to her. It's nothing like getting information from people, but how can you pour in someone else? So y'all have a good one until the next time. Go out there and do something.